this was a piece of shit, we hated doing it, or...
Okay, here we go.
Right, well, I'll say the song, and then you say something, I'll say something, and you say the song, I'll say something, you say something. In order.
In order, okay. I just got to make sure I remember the order.
The Guard.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Oh, no, you're first, aren't you?
Yeah, The Guard.
Okay, well, this one's easy, because this was, for the most part, the most enjoyable one. It was so fun. No, but the first half was just unbelievably fun. Do you remember, like...
I do actually remember.
It was
that
just
was some of the best times of my life.
Yeah, we were just in there and we were Vikings. We were tattered up. We were like...
across the open ocean, you know, in the storm.
Yeah,
the sails.
Like
just making that music was so fun.
But we just had this loop. It was just a verse, a chorus, a verse, and a chorus.
And we were like,
the verse was super short. We were like, this is it. We're done. Like this. And then we were like, wait.
Well, no, what happened was basically we had this thing, it was great, and it was short, and then it was a week before the end, and I sort of started being like, maybe we should just add a whole new bit.
And like,
and then you
second
were like,
verse, let's double the length.
Yeah, let's just double the second verse, let's add a whole new bit, let's write. And honestly, the last week was just heckers. New sounds, synth parts, new lyrics.
Finn was ill. Finn was really sick.
I was so sick.
He couldn't sing it like so. So most of the vocals that are on that record we tracked the day before or the day that we sent.
Well, the other pressure was that our favourite mix engineer on the planet was booked to mix this song. It's a big deal for us, and there was a date. And so we were working towards this date, and every day I'd wake up, I'd be like, oh, sorry, Jasper, I can't do the singing today, I'm feeling really ill. Next day, sorry, Jasper. We got to the day before we're sending it to this guy, and we still don't... So the vocal take in that song is stitched together from a lot of sketchy shit.
And amazingly, the first verse isn't actually the lyrics that you ended up writing for.
No, my manager said, hey, can you send me the lyrics? I said, do you want the lyrics in the song or the lyrics that are actually the lyrics, you know?
And he's like...
he was like, what the fuck?
So... This song is different because of your illness, because of the whole thing, and yet it's my favourite one on the record. So
totally. It was the easiest and the most difficult, and there was the most experience in that.
Yeah.
You know, we were running down the street, like shouting at the air with joy, just like, and you know.
And I've expressed, you know, like more difficult feelings than I've ever felt before.
Yeah, it was
in our friendship,
also really difficult for us.
And I think all of that's in there, and it's really beautiful to have shared that experience with you.
Big time. Yeah. What's next?
All right, next up is Once I'm Gone. This one's
Dream of me,
one for you. I didn't work on this song, so I'll...
that is random as hell.
Although I do have just a small thing to get this one going. While I didn't produce this song, before Finn went into the studio, he came down to my house to kind of consult me about some ideas of the song. We ended up spending 2.5 days talking about the tempo. We did little demos at various tempos.
Look, that was the first song that I did. That was the first song I released, the first song I recorded, and the first song I wrote really for this project. And it's weird. I love the song, and I love how much I learnt doing it and making it. Kind of in my mind, there's a version of it that's like different. I got a bit of demo-itis with that one. I kind of captured something in the demo I really loved, and like the production of it is so much better, but also I sometimes miss the demo. But the thing I like the most about that song is just playing it live, to be honest. That's what means a lot to me about that song. Like when we play it live and like people sing it, that's still insane to me, and like it just feels great to play it live, and like that's what I love about that one. And because it was the first one, it has a little special place in my heart. And Matt Lawrence was the first guy to say yes and kind of take me under his wing. And I learned so much from Matt, who like has so much experience in the industry, and he just taught me so much and was so there for me, and has been an amazing teacher in my life. So yeah, that's Once I'm Gone. And next is Bones.
Again, you should probably start with this one because this one didn't start in my hands. This is one that
Bones was weird because Once I'm Gone was the first one I wrote, but Bones was the first one that I thought was the shit. I was in a cabin, just literally up there in this cabin in lockdown, and I came up with this chorus that was quite cheesy. But then there was I'll take these synths that go through the cheesy chords, and one's descending and one's ascending in contrary motion, and they'll go through the chords and bend. They'll create tension and release just through like these simple glissandos. Like, and I was really excited. I did it, and I was like, it fucking worked. And I had these wireless headphones, and I was running around the forest here, and I was like, I've done it, and I believed in it so much, and I really was excited about Bones. Anyway, that ramble is to say that when it finally came to produce it, that had kind of all gone. I went into the studio to try and track it, and you know, I'd started having singing lessons, and I kind of learnt more about my voice and things, and I was like, this is really bad writing. Like, it sits in a really shit place in my voice, and the melodies are really busy when they're busy and too empty when they're empty, and like, I just thought it was bad songwriting. And the producer said, hey, you know, Matt was like, you should add a bridge, and I just had no idea what the bridge should be, and I was just a bit lost with the song, and so I kind of just wrote it off.
Having already, you know, tracked a song and
had
drums, and
we were
it was
working on it,
semi-produced,
and like, we were getting through it, but I just sort of lost my love of like the melody and the writing, and it was only when I don't know how you did it, but you did convince me somehow that it was worth starting again.
I was like,
worth working on.
Let's just give it a go, and we scrapped everything that had come before. You know, probably a week of work or more. On that particular version, and we just scrapped it, went from scratch, and recorded it off grid, off click, which was the first time that we'd done that properly, you know, on this project, and it was just difficult. It just took a long time.
And it was also hard because really sometimes in those moments, you know, I'm really there to like keep pushing. Like, I still believe in the song and believe in the music, but that was really you doing that through that one.
Yeah, I had to that time.
I was just like not sure so many times, and you'd keep saying, man, don't worry, it's a good tune. You were like, it's a good tune. Like, you know, it's a good tune. I'd be like, oh really? Like, I don't know. And you know, you were really the midwife for that one, like bringing this baby out, and you'd just be like, ah!
And we had the pleasure of working with the brilliant Robot Koch on this one, who was the mind behind the beautiful bridge that's now the bridge of the song. This big electronic after this fairly minimal folk arrangement, really.
That one kind of was one of the ones where like just the folk and the electronics kind of do the folk and electronics thing. Really folky and really electronic. It's nice to have them both in one song.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to have like, because the bridge that I was stuck on, I couldn't get anywhere with, and Robot Koch, he sent over these sounds, and they just inspired a new part that we never would have got without him. So that was really sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's next?
Lean In.
Oh yeah. Lean In is a poem, which is, this one's sort of Jack's fault a little bit, because you know, when we were playing live shows like several months back, I have a poem that I love, a poem by Mary Oliver called Wild Geese, and I basically say this poem when we're playing the shows, and so I was like, oh Jasper, we should put it on the record. And so we recorded a version that was fine, and I was quite excited about it. I played it to Jack, and he sort of went, well, you didn't write that. You know, he had a very fair point. He was like, I just think that even if it was a worse poem, it would be nicer if you wrote one. And so I think it was that evening, I just sat down, put some headphones on, blasted some classical music, and just wrote that poem just in sort of one go. And then we went to that
your grandparents.
Cabin. Yeah, we went to my grandparents.
Beautiful. I mean,
and we just stood it there, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, that was so lovely. They had us to stay and cooked us food, and you know, we went for beautiful walks. It was kind of after we'd done the bulk of the project, and it was our first sense of like, wow, we can celebrate this process.
It was the first time we listened to the whole thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was a really beautiful moment. Just hearing it and being like, oh, okay, we've made something.
We've
made something. And then that poem leads into more.
Yes, the poem leads into more. Kind of, they segue into each other,
which we spoke about a bit earlier. You know, how that was the first one that we got to work on together. Yeah,
but I mean, the best thing not the best thing, but More is, I love More. More's one of my favourite ones, just because it, I don't know, I feel like it kind of, it succeeds at this weird goal of trying to like put these sound worlds together that don't necessarily go together or are hard to put together. It kind of, I feel like that one does it. You know, like that bass noise is so many things. There's like a whale in there, there's a Hoover in there, there's synths in there, my voice is in there, and it went through David Gilmour's guitar amp, you know, in Alt J's recording studio, and then it fucking went to another studio, and then it went to Jasper's studio, where Jasper put every single note of the bass to a different amp simulation, and like, that bass has been on a journey, do you know what I mean? And so, you know, I can confidently say it was worth it, because I love that noise.
We made folk dubstep.
Yeah!
No, but that was really fun.
That was fun. That was where it all began.
Yeah, it was for us. Which brings us on to
One more. It brings on to she.
she.
He's afraid of time. He's afraid of his mind. No, it's wrong around. He's anyway.
As we're really losing light here.
Yeah.
We're nearly done. We're nearly done.
Maybe just
Speed it up a bit.
Speed it up.
Through the
All
light.
right.
Yeah,
All right, all right.
I'm not sure if this is going to be.
Cool. That's still going. Yeah. Ask. Sorry. So
She.
ask again. She. Yeah. Oh. Oof. She is the one that I feel the worst about, if I'm being honest. But that's just because it's the oldest. I wrote it before all the other songs, and in some ways I worry it's part of a different project in a different time. But also, I love playing it live so much that I thought it was worth releasing at some point, and it's only getting older, so I may as well, release it, because I do actually love playing the song, and it's the most vulnerable I've ever been in a song, and
I love the harmony in that song as well. It's really beautiful. I think
Yeah.
that it's I remember hearing it first year of Guildhall when we were 18 for
yeah,
the first time, and I was like, wow, I really love that song. It was the first time I really recognised you as a songwriter, like in a really deep and profound way. And that, so it's cool that it made it to the record.
yeah, sick.
Just
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
like I didn't get to work on it. But
Well, I guess it was the same for me, really.
Yeah.
To be fair, like that was the first time that I thought, like, I was really proud. I'd love to, like, anyone. I'd just be like, listen to these chords, man. Listen to these chords. These are fucking amazing. I felt like I had, like, stumbled across something that was so exciting to share. Like I'd found treasure in the forest, and I wanted to take it out and show it to people. These beautiful notes that I'd found on the fretboard. So, yeah, I guess it is nice that it's on there.
Wrap
which
it up
takes
with
us on to the last one, which is
Spring.
spring.
Woo! Woohoo! That's a lovely way to end the record. It's like an exhale. There's still some yearning in there, but it's
What is there to say about spring?
well, you should start. You wrote it on a hill,
Oh yeah.
frustrated. I'll let you take that.
Well, yeah. I mean, spring was written when I was struggling to write music for the first time. It was kind of when all the industry stuff was starting, like signing things and talking to people on the phone, like all day, and kind of working out how to sell my soul, but also like enjoy that. Anyway, it was just a weird time, and so I came down here to Devon, and just up the hill here, I found a tree, and I sat under the tree and looked out over the valley, and I sat there and I said, just sing because you like singing. Don't try and write a song. Don't try and get something out of this. Just sing because you like singing. And 11 hours later, the sun went down, and I was left with this song, Spring. And it was I didn't even know if I was going to show it to anyone. I didn't know if I was going to remember it when I got back home.
You showed it to me when you got back.
Yeah, I remembered it.
And I was like-
I showed it to you. And,
I was like,
yeah.
we need to record it, and we did.
And we did. And it was really fun when we recorded it, because like it became a new thing.
Yes.
It was definitely. I imagined I was going to play it with this Shruti drone and guitar,
Yeah.
and there's none of that. It's like all weird, different versions of a vocal. And honestly, I wish you could see the project for that song. It is insane, the Logic file. Just the automation is what I'm referring
Yes,
to. Like,
yeah.
because it sounds so minimal. It just sounds like a vocal, and that's kind of it. But there's about 100 vocal layers that are all so intricately automated you wouldn't believe. And
Well, that's where we began developing our kind of production language,
yeah.
which more will come of that another time.
Totally. I mean, if you
We'll
sit
give
in
away some of the secrets soon.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, spring's beautiful. It's one of my favourite things, and it was one of my favourite ones to work on. And
Yeah.
we
absolutely.
recorded the vocal track on a hill.
Yes. Finn sang to the birds, and they're all there.
What mic was that on?
That was just on my Zoom, because I brought a microphone up with me, but I forgot the XLR, and we just tracked it anyway.
Yeah, it was so
Um,
nice. And then we just sat recording bird atmos, and we just lay down and
A bat flew
yeah, I
past,
remember that
yeah.
bat, and
There was
we
a
could just
tiny
hear all
young
the
bat, and
birds.
it's just right there.
And that atmosphere we recorded there of the bird song and stuff, that's also the bird song in the film,
Yes.
isn't it? And so, yeah, it was a special little day recording vocals on the hill. And that's all of them.
That's the
All the other ones
that's
we
the
can't
record,
we can't
that's
tell
ZEPHYR.
you about anything else.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's ZEPHYR.
Well, yeah, brilliant. Well, let's wrap it up as we always do.
Yeah.
Obviously, on this show
Yeah.
with your favourite condiment and
Sauce.
your favourite